First of 10 at Rosehill. Stand by for a start. And we're ready to go. Racing now on a great level line out. Patrika missed the first into stride from Contributing Factor. Jamara Beach is pushing through. Gelatin handled the start well. Hutchings just has to take hold now and try and get some cover in front of Decadent Taylor. And they're followed further back then in the field by Bluff and Bluster, Poseidon Ruler. And Annulus is going to settle third last. Patrika Miss races to the lead. Out by a length and a half to Jamara Beach, travelling strongly. Contributing Factor went down to the rails on the inside of Gelatin. 2 lengths away to Decadent Taylor, followed by Annulus, Bluff and Bluster. And Poseidon Ruler ridden pretty cold there back on the inside last. And about 8 lengths off the lead. In front here, Patrika Miss for Zach Lloyd by a half length now on the favourite Jamara Beach is getting closer with every stride. A couple off Contributing Factor on the inside of Gelatin. So Hutchings has got a pretty well positioned Gelatin, looking to make it 3 in a row today. Decadent Taylor's right behind it, being nudged along. Annulus under plenty of pressure as they turn for home. Patrika Miss swings in front by a length or so on Jamara Beach. They're followed then by Gelatin being stoked up, Contributing Factor, and Decadent Tail heads the rest. Down to the 250, Patrika Mist is being challenged a little bit by Jamara Beach, who hasn't got there yet. 2 lengths away to Gelatin and Decadent Tail, but Patrika Mist is going boldly in the lead, holding the favourite, and Patrika Mist is going to lead all the way, beating Jamara Beach, and Decadent Tail ran third. Gelatin Every Hope fourth, followed by Bluff and Bluster, Poseidon Ruler, then Cam Annulus, and Contributing Factor weakened out of it.
An on-speed dominated race kick-off proceedings, but maybe not the way that a lot of punters thought.
Exactly. Vicky from the Joe Abel stable joins me. Where's Joe?
Up in sales with everyone else.
Has he bought any?
Not yet.
He'll be able to now.
Oh, I hope so. Have a nice one.
Was he confident sending this girl here today?
Yeah, confident coming into it. Last start she went really well, and the addition of the winkers going on has helped her sort of improve. Didn't think she'd be leading, but she kept kicking and good results.
Zach rode her beautifully and just rated her beautifully.
Yeah, very well.
What's she like to have around? Is she an easy horse at the stables?
Yeah, she's a pretty easy horse to have at the stables. Yeah, one of the stable favourites, so good to see her back in form.
Definitely, and she'll get out, continue to get out over a trip now.
Yeah, hopefully we can push her out to a bit longer distance and see how she goes.
Nice way to start the day. Well done.
Beautiful, thank you.
All right, thanks for that, Vicky. So Brad's going to go over and have a chat to Zach Lloyd, who is bringing back this mare. Winkers on for the first time today. She was a nice winner on a heavy 10 last time out, so she seems pretty adaptable to all surfaces, Brad. She's won on a good, soft, heavy. It's pretty handy when we've got the weather that we have, and a horse can convert wet form to dry ground and whatnot. So nicely timed ride there from Zach, and a nice win.
Yeah, absolutely. When you've got that versatility, also to make your own luck and to handle all conditions, it's a huge weapon, isn't it? So we were just watching a replay there at the start, and she was the best into stride. I don't know if it was plan A for her to lead, but Zach just used that quick getaway to his advantage, went straight to the front, got a little breather, and she showed a really good fight there in the straight. You thought the favourite, once it idled up on the outside, was going to go past her, but to her credit, she held them quite comfortably at the finish. So that's now 2 wins on the bounce. A 5-year-old mare certainly going well at the moment. 17 starts for 6 wins, so you can't do much more than that. We'll get Zach's thoughts in a moment, but it's getting nice and steamy out here as I've got the jacket on out in the sun. We'll get Zach's thoughts in terms of the temperature riding out there on the track.
Yeah, and do we look into it this far out? Leader, fence, in run, or do we just wait a few more races?
I keep the powder dry because that always promised to be a race with not a lot of speed in it, so we'll get a better indication once these highway races go around and they'll be more truly run. But Zach just weighs out now, gets the start that he wanted, certainly a winning one at that. Straight to the front, and simply too good. So we'll ask Zach about the game plan there. Zach, well done, straight to the front, stake them up, and too strong at the finish.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, nice win by the horse. She it was a good addition by Joseph putting the winkers on her today. I think they just sharpened her, and she was unable to get to the front and control the race, and she was good. And
as far as a plan goes out there, did you have an intention to be in front, or was that pretty much you jumped so well that you thought you'd take it up?
It was one of the plans. It was, as everyone knew, there wasn't much speed in the race, so she sort of looked like a filly that can hit a flat spot from about the 6 to the 4, and I thought if she wants to take me to the front, I'd be more than happy because she'll be able to build through that flat spot in the front and be strong late, which she was. So, good win.
And just a note on the track?
It felt quite quick. Yeah, for highway horses to be running 34 flat the last 600 is pretty good effort.
Well done.
Thank you.
Tab Highway, stand by for a break. There's the light, and we're ready to go. Set. And they're racing. Tabata set left well. Tai Lung right up on the speed. And Lord Remy showing a bit of muster as well. But it's Tabata set pressing on the outside there of Lord Remy in second. Tai Lung third. Feel the Night improves wide out. Outback Ringer caught a little bit deep. Followed by Smart and Dapper Extravagant Lad. I'm a Steel Bell back. Life's a Party the second. Pick Cast 3 deep. A gap further back then to Hurricane Coney, who races on the outside of Divine Sinner. Approaching the turn. Feel the Night serves it up to Tabata set. Pace had been pretty genuine here from Lord Remy. Then Outback Ringer. Deeper out Smart and Dapper. Life's a Party stoked up. Now I'm a Steel as well back and strung up at the 350. It's Tabata set and Feel the Night stride for stride. Clear from Smart and Dapper. Lord Remy running up behind them. Tai Lung working into the clear. Life's a Party grinding on the outside. I'm a Steel can't get out of a pocket. Feel the Night and Smart and Dapper. Smart and Dapper going after Feel the Night. Smart and Dapper, Feel the Night, bob of the heads. I think Smart and Dapper knows to Feel the Night. Now back in third position behind them, that's also a photo. We've got Outback Ringer, the most prominent. Outback Ringer together with Life's a Party and Tai Lung. Then came Hurricane Coney, Lord Remy. I'm still making some headway at the end. Well back came Extravagant Lad. And it was one of the last to finish with Tabata set getting pretty tired.
Brett Thompson is with me. Congratulations, Brett. Did you think you'd gotten the bob?
Yeah, we did. We were up at the top in the grandstand and the three of us said we've got the bob in. So it was really happy for Roger and Narada. They're terrific owners, and I was just talking to him about 20 minutes ago and told him he travelled well and settled in last night really well. And I said, any luck, if we can get forward, he'll be winning. And
I heard you on the radio and you were confident with him.
Yeah, very confident. He can gallop this horse, but he does a few things wrong, misses a start and gets back. Even today, he sat 3 deep. He didn't really have any cover and he was really, really strong on the line.
Where to now?
I'll take him home and rest him up and pick something out and probably come back to a midweeker or something like that. So I don't think he was 1,400 metre horse. I think he's a 1,200 metre horse, and we'll just go home and take our time. And, you know, we might even go out for a bit of a rest now. It's been really hot and he's had about 6 starts, I think, this preparation. So we'll just take our time because we know he can gallop and look after him.
Well, I want to talk to you before the next race about Blow Tart, so don't go too far away, and well done.
Righto, thank you.
Michaela, good win. He was brave.
He was. The plan was to lead, but we couldn't. He was too slow away. So I just had to opt to come back and try and find a bit of cover. We had cover momentarily, but you just can't fight him. He's just the type of horse you have to let him be. So I just let him travel around the outside of him, put himself into the race, and he was strong late.
And he's a horse that you've had a bit to do with in the past.
I have, yeah. I have won a race on him and rode him quite a few times. And that's why Brett had me on today. He's just like, you know him, just try and do and lead. And if you can't, you're just going to have to deal with him.
And Brett gave you up before. Happy 30th birthday.
Oh, thank you. Thanks.
Well done.
So we're locked and loaded for the second of the 2 highways today, and we're ready to go. Racing, Penthouse jumped well enough on the inside, given a bit of a dig in the ribs as well. Uncertain Terms away well together with Alzumia. Alzumia will go to second. Uncertain Terms easing back to third from Swift Charm. Blow Dart caught pretty wide early. Further back to Hello Jack, a limber between runners. Pretty Vegas out deep. Further back in the race to Akat Tango together with My Corona. And settling last of all is Syrian Star. So Penthouse holds the front coming to the turn. It's a pretty good view up front for Hannah Williams on Penthouse. Leads out by 3/4 of a length as they prepare to come around the turn. So there's heavily back favourite Penthouse after the great start. Swings a length and a half clear from Uncertain Terms and boxing on well. On the outside is Blow Dart staying on okay at the moment, but nicely clear. Penthouse is really starting to open up inside the 200 metres, and Penthouse are now 3 lengths clear from Blow Dart and Swift Charm, making some minor headway together with Akat Tango. But an easy win then for the short price favourite Penthouse. Swift Charm grabs second in front of Blow Dart. Then Uncertain Terms. Further back to Akad Tango, Syrian Star Alimba was next as they go past the post. Further back to Pretty Vegas. Hello Jack was never really a factor from My Garimba, and one of the last to finish was Alzumia.
Congratulations, Hannah. Did that feel as easy as it looked to us?
Yeah, pretty much. She's just so fast out of the barriers, and she puts herself right there every time. So that was an easy enough job from barrier 1, and from there it was just over, I think.
You had trialled her at Canberra a couple of weeks ago. It must have gave you a lot of confidence coming here.
Yeah, definitely. She trialled enormous, and I didn't really ask much of her that day, so to trial like that, we were pretty confident coming here.
Is it just a matter of just jumping with her and letting her roll in under her terms?
Yeah, pretty much. She can get pretty keen, but you've just got to work with her, and she's a fast horse, so let her be fast.
Well done.
Thank you.
Ready? Stand by. And they're off and racing now. Dazzle Legend's going to settle last, and Infancy began particularly well, together with Don Pedro and Fire Tribe, and a handy roll as well. Don Pedro goes to the front. Infancy second. Fire Tribe will just ease back to third, and Gallant Star a handy fourth in the early stages of the race. Then came Dematas. King of Dubai couldn't get over. Caught 3 wide on the outside at Chartwell. Johnny Dash through on the rails, and the last 2, High Blue Sea on the inside of Dazzle Legend. So Don Pedro shows the way by a length on Infancy, a length and a half to Fire Tribe. King of Dubai is allowed to slide closer, but it's out 4 wide. King of Dubai pushing forward. Gallant Star with a cosy run 5th. The rails, then came Dematas as they come up to the home turn. Don Pedro just shows the way from Infancy. Oh, Fire Tribe got a check there. King of Dubai moves up on the outside, so Fire Tribe's dropping out of contention. Dematas making some headway. Don Pedro is the leader. From King of Dubai, hanging tough for the moment. Infancy not going well enough. Then High Blue Sea. Gallant Star's looking for a rails run now. They're across the track, and High Blue Sea charges to the front. High Blue Sea went home best. Now the Miners, Gallant Star second, just in front of Don Pedro, and King of Dubai's been a decent run 4th. Then came Infancy from Dematas. Looked like Fire Tribe got a bad check on the home turn. Dropped out from Chartwell, and Johnny Dash, you did your cash. Finished last.
Zach, congratulations. A long time off the scene for this fella, but to do that first up, signs of a really nice horse.
Yeah, most definitely. That was quite pleasantly surprising. Great training effort by Sir Gerald and Sterling to produce a horse like that first up. So very promising, and to do it from behind, yeah, great effort.
What were you thinking around the turn? Did you feel you had enough there?
I thought he was going really well, but the race was very messy. It was running at a pretty steady tempo, so for him to make up as much ground as he did was very, very neat effort.
Did he have a really good blow after the race?
I think so. Yeah, he got to the front and he was a bit knackered the last 50, so I just let him ease down, but he'd done a good effort, so yeah, he was there to be tied.
Well done, Zach.
Thank you.
And they're all in now, and we're ready to go. Race 5 here at Rosehill. And they're off and racing. Either or anticipated the start well. Winning Versus aggressively ridden out, and Mrs. Chrissy has ridden out as well. Strong tempo early. They're too fast for Kitty Chat, who's just drifting back a bit on the outside of Billion Dollar Baby. Then came Dula Tila. A gap to the rest early after Lights Out Wide, trying to improve from Not That Easy, Diamond Dealer, and Leave Me Some's last of a strong outfield. So Winning Verse won the battle for the lead. Out by a length on Mrs. Chrissy. Kitty Chat's cast 3 wide. Either Either or. Zach Lloyd took hold back into fourth. They're followed by Billion Dollar Baby, has gone already by the looks of it. Yeah, dropping out sharply. Then came Dula Tila from After Light. Coming around the turn, Winning Verse in front. By length on Mrs. Chrissy. Kitty Chat is flat to the boards. Either or slicing between runners. Winning Verse at the 300 metres. It's Winning Verse a length and a half to Mrs. Chrissy. Then came Either or After Light. And further back now to Diamond Dealer running on well on the outside. Diamond Dealer now. Mrs. Chrissy burst on the scene. Diamond Dealer races to the lead from Mrs. Chrissy. And Diamond Dealer at odds wins first up. Diamond Dealer beat Mrs. Chrissy and Either or third. Then came After Light. Further back Winning Verse, Dula Tila, Leave Me Some, Not That Easy, Kitty Chat. And unfortunately Billion Dollar Baby went amiss and has come down and Ryder's down on the ground, but I think he might be all right, Jasper Franklin.
Well, congratulations. She resumed with one trial, but that was a really nice performance first up.
Yeah. Look, she had one trial and she's been galloping well at home. And 10 of 10 ride by Molly to get the job done. She performed really well today with a heavy weight on her back, and she did so well today.
Was Beyond, did he send her to the races confident that she'd be able to do that today?
Yeah, like Beyond, he called me this morning, like he was very confident with her, like the way she's been galloping at home. So he was very confident.
Were you confident watching?
Yeah, I was confident. With the heavy weight, I was just a bit worried.
Did you have something on her?
Yeah, I had a few bucks on her.
Oh, well done.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Molly. Take us through the run. Were you always confident travelling through?
Not so much. Beyond's tactics were to just ride her behind the speed. We knew the speed would be on today, and she popped out and put herself there. But the first half of the race, I couldn't keep in contact with them. But coming into the turn, I knew they were going to have to slow up a bit for us. And yeah, she showed that late. She was very dominant late and run a good race.
I know you haven't had much to do with her, but did she give you a nice feel? Was she nice to ride?
Yeah, she got the pony around, but she behaved herself, and she was a beautiful horse. And I thought she looked the part in the parade ring, and she's been running in better class than this, so she was definitely up to it today.
Good on you, another Saturday winner.
Thank you.
Ready to run now. Kibosh a bit restless. Set. Starter lets them go and they're off and racing. Kibosh given a vigorous rider to the gates together with Angel of Light. Louisville handled the start okay. Now speed there by Too Much Caviar and Western Front. They're showing intent to go forward in Glontorn as well. Aristonus is in a mood to get involved in the action as well. Now a gap back in the field in the yellow jacket to Tony B. A couple off to King Kickow, then floating. And Loving Silla is going to settle last of all. So Too Much Caviar shows the way and Glontorn strides up on the outside to sit in second and Parks in that position now, followed by Angel of Light, who's got a good spot. Western Front fourth, one out, one back. They're followed then by Aristonus, caught deep by the looks of it on the outside of Kibosh, and then the favourite Louisville, who's down on the inside running rail. And today the favourite Louisville's got four runners behind him, a gap of 2.5 to Tony B, who's back in town today. Then King Kickow on the outside of floating at a length and a half. Loving Silla last of all, 800 to go. Too Much Caviar the front runner, a half on Glontorn. Then came Angel of Light on the inside of Western Front, and Aristonus closer in the run today, but has done too much work, you'd think, in fifth position, followed then by Kibosh in the middle and Louisville on the back of might have got close to heels there from Angel of Light as they come up to the turn. Too Much Caviar in front from Glontorn. Angel of Light trying to pick up again. Now Louisville's angling into the clear. Aristonus the outside can't keep it in. No excuses for Louisville. He's taking the run between them and Clipperton drives the favourite through. Louisville to a narrow lead from Angel of Light. Aristonus floating, trying to get a crack at them. Louisville in front, floating late on the scene. Louisville in front though, he breaks her today. Louisville by a half length to floating. Angel of Light third, then Kibosh followed by Loving Silla. Aristonus has run well under the circumstances. Then came King Kickout. Too Much Caviar dropped out. Tony B didn't see it out at all, and a gap back to Glontorn and Western Front.
Damien, it was good to see him do that today. He landed in a brilliant spot and he just needed that gap to open and he got it.
Yeah, it was a great ride by Sam. He just got a little bit of interference as he was building his momentum, but to the horse's credit, he picked himself back up, and once that gap opened, he showed a good turn of foot and he was strong to the line.
That was over 1,800. Brad just touched on the fact that you wouldn't think him stepping out over any further would be an issue.
Well, he was pulling away from him at the end, so interesting to see what Sam says, but 2,000 might be not out of his reach. So, they've got options there, and I'm sure Jerry and the team are going to have a lot of fun with him.
Bosch was okay over an unsuitable journey?
Yeah, he was. He was probably a victim of the tempo. He couldn't really move into it and build momentum when he needed to. So he done well to stick on as well as he did, and stepping him back up in trip will be key.
Good on you, well done.
Thank you.
Well done, Sam. You landed in a brilliant spot. He travelled nicely and it was game over.
Yeah, it was just a matter of navigating him and presenting him into the race at the right time, and the step up in distance certainly assisted. Nice draw helped. He's been racing very well, this horse. Just been a victim of wide draws, so it was nice to be able to utilise the soft draw today. Like I said, just had to navigate into the clear, and he got to the front too soon with relative ease, and it was just a matter of him lacking confidence. He didn't quite know how to put him away, but felt like he still had a bit there, and won very well first up. Put another win on the board today, so that'll do his confidence a world of good, and he's a talented horse. He just got a few creases that needed to be ironed out, but fortunately I could iron them out today.
I know you haven't had a great deal to do with him, but do you think he'd be able to step out over 2,000 now?
I think so. He relaxes really well. He doesn't. He's very economical with himself. He doesn't burn any excess fuel, and the way he was to the line and through the line then was to suggest to me that 2,000 would probably be a bit of a sweet spot for him.
Well done, Sam.
Thanks, Shani.
Okay, waiting on the last couple to move in here. Concealed start at the 2,000 metre mark. Right, they're off and racing. Off here, and a Baby Rider in the white cap bounded out of the gates in front. Naval College is straight there into second, and Riazan in the orange is straight into third out deep. Dark Destroyer is very wide on the course. Luncey's plonks into a handy spot on the rails. On the inside of Regal Line and Torrens out deep. Further back to Rebel Rama. Then came Ottawa back in the field with the blue cap on the inside of Touristic, and Great House is settling well back in the field on the outside of Lord Ardmore. So Baby Rider has been well back today. Leads at the 1,400 metres by 2 lengths on Riazan, and the favourite Naval College third the rails. A length and a half then to Dark Destroyer on the inside of Torrens as they work down the back of the course. A length and a half to Luncey's, followed then by Regal Line there in the blue cap. 2 lengths away to Rebel Rama, Touristic a half the outside, and they're followed well back in the field then to Ottawa, who's third last at this point from Great House, and Lord Ardmore sees them all. So Baby Rider at a good gallop, preparing to lead the back straight, a length and a half in front of Riazan into a clear second, Naval College third, followed by Dark Destroyer, and Torrens having no luck today on a 3-wide path. Then the grey Luncey's buried down on the rails, further back to Regal Line, Touristic being revved up a long way out. Rebel Rama stoked up but taking a shorter path towards the rails. So up front they're really up the ante now. It's Baby Rider really pushed out from Riazan, who sticks with it. 2 lengths to Naval College and a gap back to Luncey's. Into the straight now, Baby Rider. Riazan being cuddled on the outside, and Riazan moved up to head off Baby Rider. Naval College the favourite, laying it down to Riazan now, and quickly Naval College taken to the front by a half length on Riazan. They're well clear from the rest, but Naval College is ripping away with the January Cup, going back to back in the hands of Jet Stanley, and Naval College wins it by a good space from a brave Riazan, and Lord Ardmore making up many lengths to finish third. A gap back to Luncey's Every Hope. Then came Torrens. Baby Rider was the first to surrender. Further back then to Ottawa from Rebel Rama, Great House, Dark Destroyer, Touristic dropped right out, and last of all in was Regal Line.
Well, Aaron, that was a pretty painless watch. He settled in a beautiful spot and he did the rest.
No, that's right. I wish it was that easy for everything to win like that. But no, he settled brilliantly for Jet, and it was fairly comfortable watching.
Yeah, even the last little bit on when Jet went for him, Rizan stuck with him for a bit, but he just had too much up his sleeve.
Yeah, that's right. He did know where to get to where he was. He relaxed beautifully in the run. Lightweight today, and obviously being third up, he was ready to go. So no, really happy with that.
You'd think now he'd step out over a little bit further? I know he's won over 2,400.
You'd like to think so. It looks a logical step up in trip. I think he'll get 2,400, no problem, just the way he relaxes and can kick off that. But obviously we'll leave that with Annabelle.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well, congratulations, Jet. How fitting to win your first stakes race on a horse that you just love so much.
Yeah, it is really fitting. You know, I get along with him so well. He's been such a good horse to me. It's my fourth winner on him for 5 starts. Me, unfortunately, come a third here. So, you know, to get the win at Rosehill and you know, my first stakes ride, I can't thank, you know, the team enough. Miss Nashams and you know, my rider, Narastonis in the last race probably wasn't the best, but, you know, for me to come out and reward them like this, it means a lot.
You landed in a beautiful spot. I'm tipping you felt pretty comfortable a fair way out.
Yeah, I did. I knew, you know, Andy was one of the horses to beat on Hawksy's horse, and I was able to just, Mr. Hawke, sorry, I was able to just follow him into the race, and when I got to the outside of him, I knew that they weren't going to be coming home after me. But by the way, we put the pace on a long way out, and I knew I was just going to stay him to the line.
He's such a dour type, but he was just pulling away over the concluding stages. Were you surprised at just how well he won?
Yeah, I did. You know, when I did go past Andy, he half does what he normally does and just kind of switches off, and that's when I swapped the whip over and then swapped it over again just to keep him going, and he was able to just keep finding and powering through the line.
This is a race you won't forget. Well done.
Absolutely. Thank you.
The light. Stand by for a start. Waiting for the all clear. Racing down the 8th at Rosehill, and Oscar Zulu jumped out okay. Zoo Tiger was nicely into stride. There's a real swarm for the lead, and Zoo Tiger being sent forward with intent. And Zoo Tiger's going to cross Car Bling into Stadio Masteo's rolling forward the outside. Oscar Zulu parks in 4th, a length and a half clear from Rabamos. Cuban Real taken back now from Korea Derrison, 15 rounds the last one. Zoo Tiger after the sharp start shows the way. Stadio Masteo in second, followed by Oscar Zulu third, the inside of the favourite Car Bling. 2 lengths to Rabamos, similar margin Korea Derrison from Cuban Real, and 15 rounds sees them all. Zoo Tiger extends the lead at the 600, out by a length and a half now to Stadio Masteo. A length Oscar Zulu parked on the fence. Now the favourite Car Bling peeling 3 wide as they turn, and 2 further back. Rabamos stoked up, just wanting to lay in a little bit under pressure. Zoo Tiger running in on the fence shows the way from Stadio Masteo. Car Bling is being wound up on the outside, a length away to Oscar Zulu. Rabamos not going well enough. Zoo Tiger is a narrow leader. Zoo Tiger from Stadio Masteo, and Car Bling heading top gear now. Rabamos flashing at the end. Zoo Tiger clinging on. Rabamos flashed, I'm not sure. Zoo Tiger maybe from Rabamos. Car Bling at Stadio Masteo. Followed then by Oscar Zulu, Cuban Real, Criaderis, and 15 rounds.
Damien, congratulations. A little bit of a let-up for this fella. One trial coming into it. Did you think he'd gotten the head down at the right time?
Well, I was standing next to you and I thought it was a bit close, and you usually favour the outside. So, look, it's a great reward for the owners. They've been very patient. He's been a bit of a frustrating horse. We sent him to Queensland and things didn't go away, Barry Jaws. He trialled nicely. We brought him to Sydney. It looked a good race for him, and it's great to kick off the preparation in style.
Yeah, it was a lovely ride from Kieran as well to back it up.
Yeah, it was. Patient ride. Kieran thought he might have been a bit closer with no speed in the race, but he got a lovely trail into it, and to the horse's credit, he knuckled down when he got clear room, and it was great to see him get his head over the line first.
Oscar wasn't too bad?
Yeah, he was. He was just strung up for clear galloping room on the fence. He needs to build into his races, but he's run well first up, and he's in for a good preparation.
Well done.
Thank you.
Kieran, congratulations. You needed every part of that 1,300 metres.
Yeah, he did. He did, Shani. I wanted to try and be 3rd or 4th, but just couldn't muster to be there, so I had to make do with that spot just behind the leading 4. But he travelled nice, and he just hit a bit of a flat spot once we got out of the last part of the corner, and I was a little bit worried, but got after him and he got himself organised, and in the last 100 metres I thought, right, we're going to get there now, but I thought it was a bit more of a margin than what it was. It was only a nose, but yeah, we needed every part of that 1300, as you said.
You thought you got the bob in?
I thought I did, but you never know. I come back quickly to have a look and seen the yellow and blue colours, so I was pretty happy to spot that. He's a nice big horse. I haven't ridden him for a while, but I was glad with that barrier we were able to just get a little bit closer in the run, and that was the winning move. Yep.
He hasn't won for well over 12 months. You think that might help him now going forward?
Hopefully. You know, I think he's a bit barrier dependent. Allows him to get a spot, and you can't do too much work on him early. But if he can lob in the first 4 or 5 in that sort of grade over a similar trip or a little bit further, then he's going to make his presence felt in that sort of grade. Yep.
Well done.
Thank you, Taff.
Boston Rock's favourite. Stand by for action. They're set. And they're racing. Union Army, as usual, was last out and will settle in that position. And Rich On jump well. So to the favourite, Boston Rocks is immediately on the scene together with Munitions. And Cripps Tonight is there, but just easing back now, Cripps Tonight. Sir Ravenelli trying to drop in on the outside of Paray and doing that now. Back in the field is the Silvery Warriors caught pretty deep on the outside of So Good So Cool. Union Army well back on the rails. And Outback Action sees them all down the side. And Rich On and Munitions go stride for stride. And Boston Rocks is enjoying a great trail behind them in third. 2 after the stablemate Cripps Tonight, moving up the inside Paray. Sir Ravenelli's cast wide for the trip as they approach the turn. It's Rich On and Munitions head and head. Boston Rocks is peeling 3 wide now. Then Cripps Tonight, Sir Ravenelli and Paray's creeping up behind them. Racing in restricted room as Munitions at odds hits the narrow lead. Paray's taking an inside run now from Boston Rocks. Sir Ravenelli, Union Army winding up out wide with So Good So Cool. Paray went right up the inside. Union Army is storming home on the outside, and Union Army powers over the top to beat Paray and So Good So Cool third. Then Munitions, Sir Ravenelli, Boston Rocks flat out in the straight. Further back, Outback Action, Cripps Tonight, Rich On, and a Silvery Warrior was last to finish.
Jason, win number 2 for the stable this afternoon. It was really good to see him do that today and find the line like he did.
It is. He's hit the line terrific. His first 2 runs have been really, really well without winning. To see him get back and hit the line like that's really good.
When over the back there, he was back on the fence, and I thought, I know Gerald and Sterling really want him to have clear room, but Kerrin knows him now and he was able to get him out in clear room, and that's when we see the best of him.
He is. I was a bit worried too when he was down the back on the fence, but once he angled out, he surged and hit the line well.
Such a big, long, gangly horse, isn't he?
He's a really big horse.
Yeah, it's good to see him. He left the gates well today.
Yeah, he still could. Yeah, for him, still could leave a little bit better, but hopefully it's something he irons out with a bit more racing.
Yeah. Well done.
Thank you.
And well done, Kerrin. I know that the team probably would have been telling you that to get out, get clear room and let him rip, and that's what he did.
Yeah, exactly. He first time I've ridden him, but he's a nice big individual, and trained at Rosehill, but first run at Rosehill, so it was good to see him enjoy his home track. And I was pleased earlier on in the day when a few horses started running on, because he's normally a get back horse, but he travelled nice and he built up around the corner. I was full of running, and Digger's horse just wobbled a little bit, and I was nearly going to go inside, and I thought I'll just come out and get him clear, and once I got him clear he powered away. So it was pleasing to see him win. He's been promising a win this preparation with really good runs, and he's come to fruition there today.
Such a long, lean, lanky horse. Is he hard to navigate?
Not really, no. He's quite nimble and quick, and he travelled well. You know, first as a first run round here, he nipped round the corner like he'd done it 100 times, and yeah, that was pleasing. He's a nice big fella to sit on, and he showed a good turn of foot today.
Well done.
Thank you, Ta.
Trialled up well at Warwick Farm, and she's well in the market. Danish Prince moves in. Kieran McAvoy looking to ride the treble. Light on. Racing now. Danish Prince began really sharply. Can't cross them at the moment though. Starman there, and Rhinoceros is going forward, and Rhinoceros pokes its head in front, racing to the lead. Elusive Jewel there with Vintage Choice, Sonora out deep, then Starman. Now Danish Prince just being snagged back a little bit, trying to find some cover. The favourite's going to settle well back with Cross the Rubicon going to third last. Testator Salens from barrier 1, no speed, settles second last now, and 2 lengths away to Grassless Styler. Rhinoceros goes to the front by a length and a half. Sonora does the chasing. Vintage Choice third, then Elusive Jewel. Danish Prince, despite the sharp start, is now planted 3 wide the trip. Further back to Starman on the inside across the Rubicon. Second last, the favourite Testator Salens being partnered by Grassless Styler. So it's the Victorian in front, Rhinoceros travelling to the bend. Sonora's under a heap of pressure now. So's Vintage Choice, so's Starman. Then further back, Elusive Jewel. Now Testator Salens is back in the field, looking to come off heels and get to the middle of the track. 300 out, Rhinoceros just in front of Sonora Starman. 2 off to Testator Salens. Wide out, Grassless Styler running it and cross the Rubicon. Starman races to the lead now at the 150. Testator Salens is digging in now with Grassless Styler the outside. Testator Salens though goes home best, and the last favourite's home. Testator Salens just beating Grassless Styler. Starman third, cross the Rubicon fourth. Sonora weakened the last bit from Danish Prince. A gap back to Rhinoceros from Vintage Choice, and Elusive Jewel was last in.
I'm just about to have a chat to Joe Pride, and we're just watching the replay, and looked like he was, I don't know, Joe, it was like he just didn't want to come off the heels of Starman there. We were just trying to see if Tom half lost his iron or something, but he got the job done. It wasn't easy. He looked like he just wasn't going to get there, but he did.
No, it was a good tough win, and he has been closing off really well. So that wasn't where we wanted to end up in the run so far back. But look, it worked for him in the end. And what I've been chatting to Danny, his owner, about this horse, and we're thinking he's going to run a mile pretty strongly. And again today, you'd suggested off that run he will run a mile. So, but really pleased to get the result. It was important to end a preparation with a win. He's only going to have a shortish let up, but he's a nice horse to have around in the winter time, I think.
Yeah, definitely. And in terms of when you say he comes back a mile, any races in mind?
No, not at all. It's just more about having up at the right time of year. There might be something in Queensland for him. I think he'll improve once he has a break. He's lightened off a bit the last couple of weeks, and I think when horses do that, they just need a little bit of a break. But he's had a good prep, and he's behaved himself, which is so important.
It is. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, Tom, so it looked a little bit tricky there in terms of the early position you found yourself in, but once you anchored into the clear, he was there for you at the finish.
Yeah, it wasn't the plan, obviously. I would have loved to be in the force 4, but he didn't step great, and it took a couple of strides from just to sort of find a rhythm, so I didn't really want to rush him. I know what sort of finish he had if I saved him up, and I found the back of Starman, which took me everywhere I needed to be. But he tried so hard. He credited Joe and his team, because he was a little bit fiery a couple of preps ago, and he settled him down, and that was the best I felt him.
He does seem to be a bit of a quirky horse.
Yeah, he's a bit of a bully. He's big, strong. Reminds me of you, Brad. So, look, it was a good win, and credit to the team.
Well done.
Cheers.